Okay, YouTube, welcome back to Europa Universalis IV and our Luck of the Irish achievement attempt. Hopefully this is going to be the last video in this series, and this will be video number 85, episode 85. That's pretty ridiculous, especially for my first YouTube series, especially considering as well that it's basically been a week. 85 episodes in a week. That's a lot. That's a lot. If you think about it, 7 days, that's, more than 10 episodes a day. Pretty ridiculous. But hey, I was going to be playing anyway. Yeah, so you guys can all kind of rendezvous there. I know you're not quite done. You still have some more ships to build, but that's fine. But at least get you guys mixed in. So this is going to be our second transport fleet, our backup transport fleet. And I probably will, like I said, I'll probably move some... I'll probably move some of the heavy ships from the other fleet over to reinforce this one once the other fleet arrives. And that's the thing, I want to keep an eye on this fleet because I'm worried about attrition. Going to places where I have no territory, but I mean, Portugal has bases here, we have fleet basing with Portugal, and therefore I'm hoping we don't take attrition in those tiles. Is this considered open sea? No, it isn't, because there's an island, okay. Alright. Some conversions happening. We're still not taking attrition. There's the Ottomans. We're still not taking attrition, probably because Portugal's right here. So it looks like, yeah, we don't take attrition when we're next to Portugal. And we have Portugal everywhere. Because Portugal have just expanded like, I don't know. I don't know what, like, they just expanded. They just thought, I know, let's put stuff everywhere. So anyways, the purpose of this fleet is to deal with the English out here. And that's going to be, I think we're going to need to get part of this. Also, we're going to have... yeah, I'm not going to need anywhere near this many heavy ships. Also, we're going to have our second fleet. I'm actually going to... The bulk of them I think I'll move. I think I'll leave 20 here. 25. And these 40 will be part of my... I'm going to call it my main fleet. I don't know. Let's see which route it takes to get here. I'm very curious. Which way do you want to go? You want to go this way, do you? Are you just going to go through open sea? Ah, no, I see. You're... Alright. Sure, works for me. Alright. So we're waiting for 5 more years to go by. 5 years, eh? This might not happen in this video. It might be one more video. Revolt's possible in Northumberland, where I can't do anything, and Tarasco. Yeah, I'm right here. Oh, excellent. The one is gone. Here it's very small, and if I boost ability, is that enough to make them go? No, it's not. Harsh treatment in Tarasco. No revolt risk. Oh, that's what I like to see. Absolutely. Good stuff. Alright. Fleets. Get over here. So these are some more transports. There's one more round of transports, I believe, to be built, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe not. I think it was going to be 30, wasn't it? 10 plus 20 transports? So does that mean that I think that's it. 10 plus the 20 transports. Excellent. There's 40 coming. 40 more heavy ships coming. But that's essentially the fleet. Excellent, excellent. Okay, so all my fleets are named except for these. So you are... I'm not going to name you guys yet. You guys can be my... what do I want to call this? I'm going to call this my... Second Royal Flotilla. Which is funny, right? Because I'm not a kingdom anymore. Get it? Now that I'm a republic, I have royal things. Okay, so 5 years. Waiting for 5 years to go by. Province of Cornwall now has the culture we desire. I'm not really going to worry about converting culture. In fact, I don't think I'm going to do anything. I have no revolt risk. These cultures can just stay their own culture. I don't particularly care. I'm just going to wait it out. I'm literally going to do nothing until all my fleets are here and we're good to go. Which means I probably should have thought of something to talk about. But I didn't. I didn't think about it. Yeah, I don't know. I've been thinking of upgrading my computer, but I don't know, it costs a lot of money. I will do it if I really get into this YouTube thing. If I keep making videos, I'll probably upgrade it, simply because it has a hard time keeping up. It can play the games okay. It has a hard time keeping up with games and recording, because the software I use encodes while I record, and that encoding process takes up some CPU power, and it sometimes can stutter trying to keep up with that. So I've been thinking of upgrading, but I don't know. The problem is computers are so expensive the way I do it. I don't like to, like, you can upgrade to kind of a, you know, low level but newer technology and you'll get an improvement. But I'm like, if I'm going to spend the money, I'm going to spend the money on something I don't have to upgrade for a while. Like, I've had this computer for 7 years now, and I mean, it still plays everything just fine. I can usually use like high settings even in almost everything. So I don't really know if upgrading would be the wisest use of my money right now. I'd like to save up for a trip. I have some friends in Eastern Europe, Romania and Ukraine type way. And with everything that's going on in Ukraine right now, it would be nice to go out and visit them. If only to be like, hey, I feel you. Stuff kind of sucks here right now. I can't do anything about that, but, you know, you're in the news. People know. We know what's going on. We're listening, and hopefully, you know, we're rooting for you. We hope nothing bad happens. So there's that. One of them also happens to know a really pretty girl who wants to set me up with. So, and you might think that's kind of crazy. Why would you go all the way to Ukraine to meet a girl? Well, let me tell you, I have a big weakness for Ukrainian women. I met some Ukrainian women in Canada. Like, most of my ex-girlfriends are Ukrainian or Polish or something. But it's difficult. As you get older, it gets harder to meet people. And while there are interesting people here, I like exotic, you know? She's got an accent, she's raised in a different culture, she has a different way of thinking and looking at things, and all that is very interesting to me. Most of the people that I meet here were born here, they've been here for a long time, and so they're not necessarily as different. And I really like that different. It's a interesting thing for me to meet different people. I mean, that's why I love to travel, is to meet different people. I mean, that's, you know, I've been all over Europe. That's how I made friends in Eastern Europe, but I haven't been to Eastern Europe. I mean, I have friends in other parts of Europe as well, but it's a lot. I mean, I've already been to those places, you know? I could be like, yeah, I'm going to go to France to visit. I mean, my sister's moving to France, so I could be like, oh, I'll go to France to visit my sister. But I've already been to France. And while I loved it there, there's so much to see in this world that I think I'd rather go somewhere new. Especially while I mean, I say relatively young because I'm, you know, some people watching this video are probably like 19. To them, I'm old. But, you know, guys who are in their 40s, I'm still young, so... yeah, there's a lot of places I want to see. Eastern Europe, I'd like to go. I got some friends in Australia. I'd like to go to Australia. I've never been to Asia. I'd like to go to Asia. I've basically been to North America and Europe. But I've been, like, everywhere in North America. And I've been pretty much everywhere in Western Europe except for the Iberian Peninsula. I haven't been to, like, Spain or Portugal. But I've been kind of everywhere else in Europe. But I really love traveling. Really love traveling. So I'd like to go out and travel some more. So that's what I'm saying, right? Like, do the computer upgrades? Or do I travel? I thought about, you know, you can do like Alienware and finance or whatever, but I don't know. It sounds like a good deal. You're like, oh, it's only $58 a month. But $58 a month over 2 years, That's a lot of friggin' money, you know? And I don't like debt. I don't like debt at all. I have money. I mean, I'm not a poor guy. I get my salary from work is fantastic. I'm very well compensated. So I certainly don't need the money, but I mean, I certainly have the money is what I mean. I certainly have the money, but I still like to spend my money wisely. You know, I'd like to retire early. Right now I'm on track to retire at 57. Wouldn't mind retiring when I'm like 50, 52. That'd be nice. You know, they always say, you know, freedom 55, that's the goal. You know, everybody wants to retire at 55 instead of 65, but the reality is most people are retiring 65 or later. If they get to retire at all. A lot of people don't retire at all, which is a whole other thing, you know. So being on track to retire even at 57, I'm not like, oh darn, that's more than 55. I'm quite happy with 57, but if I could retire earlier, that would obviously be better. The earlier I can retire, the happier I'll be. So you know, get a new computer or to pull out of investments would be a bad idea. So I'm going to leave my money in my investments and keep investing. And then I'll figure out how I want to go about getting a computer and when the time comes. And because I'm curious, I'm actually going to look up the average retirement age. I'm going to assume most people are from America, so I'm going to look up the average retirement age in the USA. I'm not in America myself. I'm in Canada, but I'll look it up for the US. 62. It's going up to 62. Full retirement, also known as normal retirement age, has traditionally been 65, but it's going up to 62 now. Although it looks like they're saying 67 is kind of what the US government would like to aim for, apparently. So let me see, what is in Canada? Average retirement age, Canada. And this is one of the reasons why, like, if you're from Greece, looks like in Canada it is 62, so it's the same. And they still work part-time, but they are retired from their careers. Like, if you're from Greece, you might have met... I know someone who traveled through Greece, and he was like, every Greek person I met, all we did was fight because they were so selfish. And I think part of that is just the cultural difference, right? I mean, one of the reasons I like to travel is because of different cultures, but I think a lot of people don't realize how big a difference that can be. So they go in there with their way of thinking and their way of looking at the world, and they think that anyone who, you know, everyone has the same life experience, which is not true at all. Living in different parts of the world is very different. So when Greece was having all their issues, I know a lot of people were like, oh, these crazy Greeks, they have a retirement age that's so young, mandatory pensions and this and that and this other benefit, and they want that benefit, and they want all these benefits, but they don't want to pay for them. But the thing is, nobody wants to pay for, you know, everybody hates paying taxes. Everywhere you go, people are complaining about taxes and how they want to pay less taxes, and the problem is when you see your money being wasted, and I think that's the issue the Greek people had. You know, if you had lived in Greece and you had seen some of the extreme waste that was going on with the government. This is how it was explained to me by a Greek, and I by no means feel that I'm an expert, and I realize that this is just that person's opinion, but since they're from Greece, I'm going to trust them. Yeah, when you've lived there and you've seen how much kind of waste and corruption there was, that was the problem. If there was literally no way to keep the benefits that you'd expected, that'd be fine, but they were just upset that there was so much waste. They were like, no, don't take my stuff away. Clean up your waste. Get your own ducks in a row before you start coming after mine, you jerks. Which is pretty reasonable. I mean, people in North America say the same thing, you know? But it's that difference in culture that people just don't understand or don't consider, or, you know? So if you travel, keep that open mind. I know I talked about the financial part of traveling, you know, where people are like, oh, Europe is so expensive. Well, yeah, because you're paid in dollars. But if you were paid in euros, then Europe is pretty much the same. Some things are more expensive, some things are less. But I mean, the average wage that you need to be able to have a reasonably decent life is very similar, just in a different currency. You know, you need almost 40,000 to kind of be relatively comfortable in North America, and you need almost 40,000 to be relatively comfortable in Europe. Just the way the world works. I can't speak to Asia. I mean, the people that I know in parts of Eastern Europe, they would be over the moon if they could make 40,000 a year in their respective currencies, you know, like. I know people, and it's weird because the apartments don't necessarily cost much less. My friend in Romania, I'm trying to remember what the currency is there. It starts with an L, I think. The leu, the Russian leu, or the Romanian leu, Romanian lei. Her rent was like 820 lei a month, which, I mean, I live in Toronto, which is an expensive place. National trade modifier, national trade income modifier, national trade income. Oh, right, they're the same, just one is smaller. I mean, I live in Toronto, so it's very hard to find an apartment for, you know, 850 Canadian dollars a month in Toronto. At least a nice one. Her apartment was fairly nice, but at 850 Romanian lei a month. The thing is that she lived in an apartment with her mom. Both of them worked full time, and their household income was like 1,200 lei a month, which is ridiculous as far as I'm concerned. That is not livable. But like that's two incomes, and that's just what the economy was like in their city, you know. So that's, you know, one of those, like I'm saying, differences in cultures. Differences in monies, differences in all kinds of things. It's May. We're going to fabricate the claim first, though. So I'm going to wait for the truce, start fabricating a claim, end the episode. We'll come back next episode with a claim. Well, finish the claim, go to war, win the war, finish the achievement, and be done. So it's going to be one episode after this one, and regardless of how long it takes, it's going to be one more episode. Okay, so we can't say anything about... Alright, good. So, covert actions, fabricate claim, London. Okay, good. And I'm going to hit save just because it's been kind of weird lately, right? Like, it's almost like the last save hasn't been being saved to the cloud or whatever. Okay, so I'm just going to zoom out a bit. Truce is over. Fabricating our claim. We're going to come back. We're going to go to war with England. Take London. Finish the achievement, end the series, and then I'll be back with something new. But that's all going to be in a future episode. For now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.